about something today that has nothing really to do with what my channel is usually about, which is dreadlocks. Yes, I'm not talking about dreadlocks today. I'm actually going to be talking about something that's very personal to me and a little bit hard to talk about, I guess, but I just wanted to, put it out there. And what I'm talking about is school and depression and anxiety. This is for people who are depressed and who do have anxiety and problems with school and stuff, and I just want to let you know, you're not alone. There's so many other people out there who are suffering from the same thing you are, and, I'm not going to deny the fact that I have an anxiety disorder, and at one point I was diagnosed as being clinically depressed, or whatever you want to call it, chronic depression. Anyway, which doesn't matter. Just because you have a doctor tell you you are depressed, or you don't have a doctor tell you that you're depressed, doesn't mean you are or you aren't, any more so, just because the doctor told you. You may never go to the doctor, and the doctor may never tell you that, but you could be even more depressed than I am. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. That I was diagnosed with an anxiety disorder and as having chronic depression. That was a couple of years ago. Now, I've been living with depression and anxiety pretty much my entire life. There hasn't really been a time that I can remember where I didn't have it. And what my anxiety is, it's not social anxiety, where I get anxious when I'm in a big crowd or anything, or I don't like being around people. It has nothing to do with that. I don't mind. I love going to the mall. I love being in large crowds, going to concerts, whatever. They don't bug me. What my anxiety is actually, I guess you could call it separation anxiety with my house, my comfort zone. I don't like to be out of my comfort zone, such as, I don't know, sleeping at a friend's house who I don't go to their house very often. I'm not comfortable with that. But there's many different types of anxiety out there, and not all of them are like mine. Other people may be perfectly fine doing new things, but they may have social anxiety. They just don't like being in large crowds, or I'm not really sure. I don't study the different types of anxiety. I just know mine. I remember one time I went to the doctor's, the hospital, and the nurse talked to me, and she brought my mom aside to another room and told her that she thought I was lying because I like going to the mall. She said I was lying about having anxiety because I don't mind going to the mall. See, that nurse was not well educated, because she was talking about social anxiety. But I didn't tell her I had social anxiety. There's different types. That nurse actually really pissed me the fuck off, and I disliked her. This is very, personal, but I'm going to tell you anyway that I did, try and commit suicide 3 times in my life. Now, you would probably assume by the fact that it was 3 times unsuccessful, I probably didn't really want to kill myself. And you're right, I didn't really want to kill myself. I just, at the time, felt like I had no other option. I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know how to fix my problem. I just felt like there was never going to be an end to my depression, and the only way to fix it was to kill myself. And I was wrong. I overdosed. That's how I tried to kill myself. Overdosing is one of the many, many, many different ways to kill yourself, but one of the easiest ways to fail at it, I guess. I mean, obviously if you take a gun and shoot yourself, you're going to be very successful at killing yourself. But overdosing, not so much, because it depends. So both times I did, the first 2 times, I just used ibuprofen, which it actually did nothing, and I never told anyone that I had tried. I just didn't. And the 3rd time, I actually used my antidepressants, because I was like, Advil doesn't do anything, so. But that time, I was scared, because I didn't really want to die. I just did it because it was a cry for help, really. That's all it was. I didn't want to die. And as soon as I did it, I regretted it. And I was like, oh my god, what did I do? And I called my mom. And, you know, she was busy. She was out. And I called her and I was like, Mom, I just overdosed. Like, I just took all my antidepressants. Like, I don't know what to do. So, you know, she obviously rushed me to the hospital. And everything was fine. I'm still here. Because I didn't really want to die. So I, obviously, as soon as I did it, I told my mom. And, yeah. But after that, things really started to get better for me. Not saying that if you want things to get better, you should overdose, because that's really not the way to do it. But what I'm saying is, before that, I had never told anyone, really, about my problems. I mean, maybe I mentioned a few times, like, I feel depressed, but I never really told anyone the extent of my feelings, until that happened. And then, obviously, it came out because, well, I tried to kill myself, so. But what I'm trying to really get at is that, you know, if you're depressed, you need to tell someone. I know you feel like no one will understand, you're afraid they'll, I don't know, blame you or blame themselves, or, you know, you're just afraid to tell anyone, and I know how that feels. I was afraid too, but I promise you, if you tell someone, it will automatically feel so much better for you. And maybe it won't fix things right away, but just because you told someone else, that just a huge weight will be lifted off your shoulders, because now you don't have to face your problem by yourself. And it doesn't have to be your mother like I told. I'm just really close to my mom, and that's why I told my mom. But you know, you can tell your best friend, you can tell your dad, you can tell your brother, your sister, you know, it doesn't matter who you tell, just someone you trust and you feel like you can tell them. Tell them. You won't regret it, I promise. So things just got better for me from there, you know, and I'm still on antidepressants. I'm still struggling, but I'm way better than I was a couple years ago when that happened. You know, it gets better, and you just can't give up, because the thing about depression is you just feel like doing nothing. You know, you just want to stay in bed and do absolutely nothing. You don't want to get dressed. You don't want to shower. You don't want to go to school. You don't want to go to work. Whatever you have to do, you don't want to do it. You feel like that it's pointless. You know, you're too tired. You just don't feel like it. Whatever the reason, you just don't want to. And I know how that feels. But see, if don't do anything, if you know, just lay in bed and do nothing, you're gonna just fall into a deeper depression, and it's not good. So, you know, advice that I have from my experience, my personal experience, if you feel like you're falling into a depression and you know that feeling of just not wanting to do anything, don't listen to that feeling. You have to keep a routine. No matter what the routine is just, it keeps your mind busy, and it keeps your body busy, and, you know, it takes your mind off things. You just need to have a routine, you know. When you wake up, just get up, have a shower, and do something. Don't just lay in bed and do nothing. But if you're, like, on a weekend, and you have nothing to do, and you just want to lay in bed all day, all Saturday, don't. Get up, you know, get dressed, put your makeup on, feel good about yourself. If you're a guy, you know, whatever. You can put makeup on if you really feel like it. But, you know, just make yourself look nice. It makes you feel good to look nice, to feel clean, and then, I don't know, if you have a license, go for a drive, you know, go out, go to the mall, just do something. Don't just sit around the house and do nothing. And if you don't want to leave your house, do something in your house. Clean. That's always nice. Makes your house look nicer, and it keeps you busy. Exercise. You know, you can do yoga, just whatever. You can cook something, bake a cake, I don't know. But you have to keep doing stuff. You can't just sit there and do nothing. I want to talk about school, anxiety. But see, school for me, and I don't know about other people, but for me, school's very hard because, and I'm not in school right now, but it's very hard for me because of my anxiety, and I don't really know why school has such a bad vibe for me, but it does. And And because of my anxiety disorder, I have a very hard time going to school because of its bad vibes, and just it's not comfortable. It's not a comfort zone, you know what I mean? And I'm not, because of my anxiety and my depression, and if you have depression or anxiety, you can probably relate. It's harder to keep your friends. It's harder to make friends because you feel different. You're just not happy. You just kind of want to keep to yourself. And I have a few friends, but I have mostly acquaintances who are just kind of people I know. You know, when I see them on the street, I'll be like, hey, how's it going? But I don't really hang out with them. So that's why school is kind of hard for me too, because I don't have a lot of friends who I really trust and who I really want to keep close to me. And I try to make more friends. But you know, when you have these anxieties and stuff, it's really hard to put yourself out there and make new friends, because you just, all these things run through your mind and you just don't feel comfortable with that. So when lunchtime comes, you know, I'm all alone and I'm like, I feel nervous. I don't want to join another group because I don't know if they'll want me to. I just wanted to say this for anyone who is battling depression and anxiety. You know, you're not alone, and you would be surprised how many people will really understand if you just tell them. So just tell someone, and I promise you it'll get better. And you know, you may not know me, so you may not want to take my advice, but I speak from experience, and I'm just saying what worked for me. And yeah. But, you know, exercise, that makes you feel so much better. It really does. And I know when you're depressed, you don't want to do anything, like I said. But if you just make yourself exercise, afterwards you'll feel so much better about yourself. See, the thing about battling depression is you gotta stay healthy. You gotta eat healthy, you gotta exercise, you know, you gotta have a routine. You can't just lay in bed. You have a good sleep pattern. Go to bed early, wake up early. That's good for you. The healthier you are, the stronger you are to fight this depression, and the happy you are. The healthier you are, the happy you are, because your body is happy. If you ever want to ask me anything about it, like, feel free to inbox me, and I promise I'll answer you, and I'll try my best to answer your questions. I'm not a scientist, like I said, and I'm not a health, like, expert. I'm not an expert at anything, but I do, I have depression, you know, and stuff, so I kind of know. And I've been battling it for a long time, and I'm pretty happy at the moment. You know, have a creative outlet. That's another one. Have a creative outlet. Whatever it is. Drawing, writing, painting, cooking, you know, whatever. You just have to have something creative. Photography, that's another one. You know, just, oh god. Look what happens. That was weird. Anyway, yeah. So have a creative outlet too, because you need some way to get your emotions out. You can't keep everything bottled up inside. You just can't. And if you don't have a creative outlet, well, find one. But no, seriously, if you don't have a creative outlet that you can think of, then the way to get your emotions out, have a diary. That's a really good one. If you can't trust anyone, have a diary. But if you can trust someone, you know, and they don't mind listening, talk to someone about how you feel. Like a friend, a parent, just talk. Anyway, I'm gonna go, because this video is quite long, and yeah, so, I know this had nothing to do with what my videos are usually about, but I just want to get that out there. Next video is going to be about dreadlocks. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope things get better for everyone, because everyone should be happy. And yeah, bye!